So we're at the prop store and I've been here for a couple of weeks, and what they've reset is the top out boulder. So what I thought I'd do is I'd film an attempt at the top out boulder while doing some top tips for top outs. We'll see how it goes. This is the top out boulder. For those of you that don't know what a top out boulder is, the climbs normally start quite low, like in these purples, and they're not very high, but you have to climb onto the top of the boulder for it to be considered complete. The one at the prop store is probably quite low, but it's not that distinct from actual boulders you get outside. There are plenty of boulders in, for example, front, which are this height, and if you look at the far end, it's not that much shorter than a normal wall. So we'll have a go. Most climbs on a top out boulder start with a seated start. I was always taught that if your bum can reach the ground from the start, that's where you should place it. And then you just make your way up, and then for most climbs the challenging part is getting your way over the top. Fortunately for a lot of the climbs today, there were holds at the top which allow me to pull my way over. And I always think a clean top is when you step up rather than using your knee. One of the things I find most scary about the top out boulder is you have to get down. I really find it awkward, and I'm almost as scared with the down climb of any top out as I am getting up there. At least at the prop store, it's not too bad. This end of the top out boulder isn't high at all. Step up. Nice. Oh, nearly fell over there. I'm not sure why I didn't do a sit start on this. Maybe I didn't catch it on film. And then the final purple. This one was actually surprisingly awkward. These holds were kind of slopery, and it was a lot harder for me to get my way over the top, considering it was a purple. Then on to the yellows. The main difference between the yellows and the purples at TCA is they are generally more technical and or more difficult. I think Jo had forgotten she was filming me here.
climbs that are at this point on the top out boulder can be quite easy because it's possible to just step your foot out to the side. I was trying to avoid making it too easy, but there we have it.
So that's 5 purples, 5 yellows, the 10 easiest climbs, although Joe and I were both saying that we don't really find any top out boulder climbs easy. So we'll just have a rest, some rehydration before we try and decide whether we want to tackle the oranges, which when we look at them all look like a massive jump up from the yellows. We'll wait and see. So this is the first one. Looks like a bit of a relatively steep one, and the problem for me will be getting over the edge. There's at least one on the top which will help. And that's definitely a possibility. This one here, a couple of good holds here, but then you've got these bits of nonsense which are tiny, and another couple of tiny ones on the top. This one looks like it might be straight for the top. Pull through, right foot on, up. Fortunately there's one on the top as well, which is good, so you'll be able to step up to here to get your knee up. These holes don't look nice. So fiddle no start, then one-sided nonsense. Couple on the top. This one looks nice. These ones don't. And then there's this nonsense, which is an underclimb with a foot beside it. 2 underclimb. Anything on the top? Can't see.
So tackling the first orange, nice big juggy holds, although it is quite steep. Quite a high foot for me here, but got it. And then because there was a really big juggy hold in the top, I could pull my weight over the top. Step up, happy. On this undercling one, I realised that if I held the left hand side of one of these holds, I could more or less lay back if my left foot was high enough on the wall. The challenge being there were no footholds, obviously. So that really worked, and then I could get my right foot onto the foothold and swing up. Then the challenge was just getting over the top. Because there were no holds on the top, I really have to get my weight over my feet in order to get on top. So it wasn't pretty. And I kind of stood on that down climb, but I don't care. Always remember to brush your holds, kids, particularly little crimpy ones. Not enough people spend enough time brushing holds as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, on to the first failure of the night. Because these holds were really crimpy, I could not get close enough into the wall. I couldn't get under them enough to actually lift my weight. No matter how much I tried, no matter how many different directions I faced, I couldn't get close enough to be able to use these holds. So, first failure. This next one had nice big start holds, but then ridiculously tiny handholds. Not only that, but the footholds were tiny also. Look at the size of this one. And then, although there were holes in the top, they were just as small as the other two, so it was quite difficult to use them. Still managed to step up though. Very pleased with myself. This last one, I wasn't confident about. First I was starting with the wrong holds. Realised my error, and I decided after my first initial right hand move I was going to swap feet and just fall onto the left hand, which wasn't graceful, but it worked fine. Then up to the top. Swing up. And the first knee of the evening. Terrible. But up there.
So this is finished. 2 hours and 20 minutes in total. That included the little 10-15 minute rest we had. And all in all, I would say quite pleased. Managed all 5 purples, all 5 yellows, and 4 out of 5 of the oranges, which is very good for me. And I'll probably try again on Sunday. Oh, by the way, while I was here, this happened. Unbelievable, 5,000 subscribers. Thank you. So if you like this, then don't forget to smash that like. If you're not a subscriber, then again, think of subscribing, add to that 5,000 subscribers. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.